just went from on the outside. Looked to me like he missed a gear on that first bend, and it's all chop and change in that first turn. On that bottom bend, but it is Tony Atkin that's got the lead. Dave Rumsey in second place at the moment. Craig Williamson battling with Paul Knott in that third spot. Craig Williamson has put it down in that bottom turn. Oh, Paul Knott unfortunately connecting with the ropes as well, trying to miss Craig Williamson on the floor. Made the best of the start. Mitch Gordon has gone on the inside. Paul Hurry's tucked in behind him, and Paul Hurry looks to take over. Goes very, very wide. It's got that under control. At the moment, rider number 23. That's Wayne Barrett who's got the lead. Paul Hurry going round the outside though, chases after him. Gets to know him. Now gets in front. Matt Reed up in third place. Having a good battle with Mitch Godden at the moment. That's Mitch on the inside, and Mitch caught a bit of a crab in the middle of that point. One more lap to go, and Paul Hurry it is that leads it, but a great scrap going on for what I can say is second and third, really. Problems for Matt Reed as he goes into that turn. Middle of that bend, it was all getting very, very close to that second and third place. There is a red flag, but obviously we had completed 3 laps. Quickly see that Wayne Barrett is up on his feet. Class, and we start the second leg rides. Oh, it was a terrific start from Glenn Phillips. He's got himself to the front. And as probably would be expected, there is a red flag bringing the riders to a halt. On this outside, Vince Kinchin is tight on the inside, and it's all very, very tight on that bend. Sorry to say that I think possibly is Phil Ambrose once again. Look for Vince Kinchin on the inside. He's been boxed in, so Vince Kinchin's got a lot of work to do. It's a long way down the field. Back at full racing speed as we've lost one rider on the bottom. Oh, you can see that they're slowly going round and round and round. That was Paul Cooper, I think, and Vince Kinchin unfortunately is the one that suffered. again, we're going to see this race restarted. Very disappointed for the race leader, Tony Stark. He knows he's got to do it all again. Takes up his position on the inside. Away you go the tapes and they get underway. Paul Knott's made a very good start this time. Vince Kinchin a better one on the inside, but again he's got boxed in. Problems on the start line, but it is Racetrack One that's got to the front as they go in that track. And it's 10 minutes in fourth for the once again Mick Charlie elected to go around the outside of Reg Blackburn. Has he made it? Not at the moment, he hasn't. Reg Blackburn still holds it. Tim Bennett has moved up on the inside of Rob Wilson and looks to be going after Mick Charlie as well. Again you'll find a Mick Charlie. But if he gets close enough, Mick Charles is going to take Reg Blackburn, will leave a gap on the inside. He hasn't done that, he's stayed tight, he's gone for the inside line. Again, Tim Bennett looks to be on the inside of it. Closes again. That's still going into this top end. So Victoria and Tony Baseby have got the lead. Have they slowed Reg Blackburn down enough for Tim Bennett to take him as well? Well, Rob Wilson has now cut through on the inside and Rob Wilson has got third back again. So tremendous pick them up and show. So tremendous sidecar racing. It is coming to the checkered flag this time. It's going to be a win for Mick Taylor. This is going to be close to second. Very, very close to second in the end. Oh, I wouldn't like to make a choice there between Rob Wilson and Reg Blackburn, but it was both very tight. They charge into the first turn. It's Mick Graham that's made the best of the starts. Vince Kinchin comes through on the inside. I think that's Tony Atkin that's best of the front. That first turn, Tony Atkin in full charge leads from Mick Graham in second place. Trevor Banks in third at the moment. Paul Harris still working hard, trying to get in front of Mick Graham and Trevor Banks in one turn. Closing all the time as it did perhaps look a certainty that he was going to take this final. He's been made to work for it though. Right out of that bottom turn, Paul Harry's getting closer to him. Tony Atkin now knows that he's got Paul Harry with him. As he throws it into that top bend, he's looking for the drive down the back straight. He's still got that. In the air and takes the checkered flag. But a tremendous effort from Tony Atkin. Mick Graham and Trevor Banks did their bit as well. They held Paul Harry up for quite a long time. They made him work extremely hard to get the Berks Bonanza. But as it turns out, third in 1999, won it in the year 2000.
Sort of on the last lap I knew he was there, I thought should I try and stop him, but I can't ride like that. You know, he passed me fair and square, and I'm not disappointed because I needed a good result. I'd rather win, but and I hate him, but there you go.
I just said, tremendous riding through the heats, but they certainly made you work hard in the final, didn't they?
Yeah, I was sat there looking at the green light and come on. Yeah, but it made it interesting, and I probably enjoyed that one more than the other three, of course.
Adam Shippey was prepared to take past the commentary box. But on that first turn, places changed and B Street moved into the lead. Second place then is Adam Shippey and third is Keith Strudwick. Adam Shippey, Keith Strudwick. Adam Shippey making a move on the inside there. Goes past turns the throttle on. B Street fights back in second place. Adam Shippey really got that bit between your seats this afternoon. Young lad from the Eastern Centre. Slides a little wide there. Lee Street didn't quite have enough in reserve to make the most of it. 2 more laps to go. Keith Strudwick holding on to third. And it's actually Devon, Jack Walker, Brian Cornelius, Robert Hargrave and Jeff Urban, with Mark Harris bringing up the rear. Again, trying hard on the inside, he's just getting there this time, and that's Lee Street, and he hold on to it. Adam Shipp goes with him. Adam Shipp tries to go on the outside, but that inside line is very important on these tight turns, and Lee Street is holding on to it at the moment. Adam Shipp's coming up really fast behind him. It's going to be a thriller, this one. Adam Shipp's front wheel comes up alongside Lee Street. It's going to be close. Lee Street comes to the line. Who's it going to be? Lee Street takes it. By Adam Shipp in second place. Then Keith Strudwick, who only could see what from a distance. Then it's Ashley Denham, Jack Walker, Brian Cornelius. Give guys something to do. Here they come. 27 it is. Clive Holland and Neil Marshall with no smashes in Woodlands and make it to the first turn first. He's not been down here on official practicing by any chance, has he? Oh no, he hasn't. He's gone a little bit wide on that turn. He's gone back to third, up to second, back to third. It's all happening. Out goes number 6, Paul Holland and Phil Durrant. Problems for them on their maiden voyage. Meanwhile, it's all happening here. 1, 2, 1. Steve Maitland and Dave Holland speaking. 1, 4, 2. Terry Nicholas and Richard Murray holding on to second place. Then it's Dominic Doyle and Peter Taylor. Oh, he's kept Bogus moving up there, and Dominic Doyle got problems. Dominic Doyle and Peter Taylor look like they're struggling at the back of the field there. Meanwhile, out in front, not knowing what goes on behind them, and do they care? 1, 2, 1. Steve Maitland and Dave Holland. From Terry Nicholas and Richard Murray. I've got to pick up a punch there. It didn't be handled too well. Going quite fast. He's just got a flat tyre. It didn't be handling that good. Round they come then. 1, 2, 1. Steve Maitland. Look at Terry Nicholas coming up on the inside. It's going to be a fight for the finish in this one. Just 1 more lap to go. Jefferies is making up from the back of the field right up into third place, and he's contending now for that second. Struggling with that machine, but he's determined to finish and pick up some race points. Round the last turn they come then, it's all systems go at the finish line. Just Steve Maitland and Dave Holland from Terry Nicholas and Richard Murray. Then it's Kev Bovis and Nigel Field. Here we go then, race 7, and down the first line they go, Steve Daw. Taken up right where he left off last time, flat out of that turn, and then a wee wee up the straight. Harry Giles is hard after in second place, Gareth Roberts is there in third. And it's Brian Cornelius. Look at Stevie Daw. Front wheel right up in the air from one end of the straight to the other. Stevie Daw leads. Rosie Giles right in second place. Then Gareth Roberts. Stevie Daw leads it. Look at Wogie. Wogie's after him. Wogie goes through on the inside. Flat out of that turn, and Stevie Daw goes after him, and Wogie goes down. Wogie goes down. Stevie Daw leads it. Stevie Daw out in front. Gareth Roberts getting into the front of there. Lee Bartlett keeps on the inside, but it's Stevie Daw all the way on the front line there. Wogie's up and okay. Bill Ransom brings up the rear. Stevie Daw, flat out then, to the last lap flag, 1 more lap to go for him. Holding a lap in arrears there. Brian Cornelius moves up to second. All systems go here at Brighton. Duckfield Circuit. Steve Daw, I don't know if he stopped or what. He seems to have slowed right up there. The win for 110, Stevie Daw. Second place, 48, Brian Cornelius. Next, Gareth Roberts. On to race 22, the right-hand sidecars, leg 2. We're looking for Mark Sharrock and Kevin Fuller, Andy Stevens and Wayne Nance, Jeffrey Austin, Gary Lancaster, John Hiscock, Jason Gill, Duncan Fish, Tony Malone and Vaughan Roberts, Terry Madley, and they're halfway down the first straight already, and it's Rob Sharrock that's made it into the first place. Vaughan Roberts comes storming through, and oh no, over goes Vaughan Roberts. That does look a bit messy down there. Obviously the red flags are up. So they've made it right through to the ropes down there, and 14, 28, 575, 77, 1 minute 20.45 seconds and 62.11 miles per hour. Race 25 is underway. Gareth Roberts gets the best of the start. Second place. Gareth Roberts was there in third. Gareth Roberts got back to fourth. All not. Matt Hill then going for it. 110. Second place. Matt Thompson. And the duck starting to rise. 29. All not. Leading it. And look at Stevie Daw. Stevie Daw is up. That's to go. Stevie Daw goes down the outside. Flat out and never say die. He's going down the back straight. The full knot's on the inside, run on him, and he takes it back again. It's all exciting stuff here. And look at Stevie Daw around the outside. He didn't even shut that throttle off going into that corner. Stevie Daw goes very wide, and it's number 29, Paul Knott, that takes it up again. It's 110. Stevie Daw in second place. There's a lot more on this place. I don't know who to watch. Gareth Roberts on onto his third, then Matt Thompson, the look is Paul Knott leading Stevie Daw into the last turn. Stevie Daw comes again, right round the outside. It's flat out, it's nothing into the finish. Paul Knott takes a nice side line and he's got it by the mile. Paul Knott takes it. Steve Daw in second place. And it's a big one for the 250cc solos. It's a 250cc solo final. It's race 44 in your programme. We've got 31 Paul Simmons, 75 Lee Street, 16 Adam Ship. The Revs rise the pace line, here they come. Flat out down the first straight, it's struggling to make it reverse turn first. In second and Paul Simmons in the fourth. Paul Simmons goes through the third, goes through the first. Paul Simmons on the outside. Keith Strudwick pulls up into second place. Ashley Denham's there, Lee Street's in there, and Adam Ship's in there. Keith Strudwick goes to the front. Keith Strudwick goes wide, Paul Simmons on the inside, cutting through. Ashley Denham's right there with him, and Lee Street comes up. Lee Street moves into second place. Ashley Denham in third. Keith Strudwick in fourth. Keith Strudwick goes on to the inside. Front wheel lifting as he comes out of there. 4 laps. Please, Mr. British man, Malcolm Santa. 31 then. Paul Simmons down. We have a fallen rider there on that top turn, and Paul Simmons leads in 17 Street is in second place. Then Ashley Denham and Keith Strudwick. Followed by Jack Walker, Malcolm Beanie. Chris Still, John Belcher, Gordon Penny, Bill Ranson. And a fallen rider is up on his feet. Lee Street comes through on the inside of Paul Simmons to take up the lead on the last lap. It's Lee Street now from Paul Simmons. Paul Simmons giving his best shot, and he's going down the outside of Lee Street, but Lee Street pulls away down the back straight. It's Lee Street now from Paul Simmons. Paul Simmons giving it his best on this last turn. Really means business. He tries the outside line, but Lee Street powers out of the corner, takes the checkered flag. Lee Street the 250 winner this afternoon. Paul Simmons an impressive second. Ashley Denham, Keith Strudwick. Race 48, the 500cc solo final rerun, and here they come, and it's from Robert Lee on the outside, running around there, he's holding third at the moment, he's struggling to come through there. Phil Ambrose goes alongside, Paul Knott pulls away a bit, Steve Daw takes the two of them. Round they come then, all three side by side out of that turn, and Steve Daw goes wide, Paul Knott holds on to it, but it's Stevie Daw coming up through. Paul Knott coming up through the field. And Paul Knott loses along that straight, and he rolls along, but he picks himself up and gets himself off the circuit. The race being stopped.
Away with the second sidecar race of the afternoon. So you've got John Halsey in there. It's Johnny Scott who gets the whole shot. Straight to the front end. Halsey in it. Trying to go around the outside of the white ones. John Halsey back in fourth place at the moment. Still on our straight. So it's Johnny Scott on the Renegade Yamaha in front of Paul Whiteman. Down the back straight, but it's still Hiscock with the lead. We go very, very wide, very wide. Mark Whiteman in second place. Got the two of them. John Halsey stuck back in fourth place at the moment. Got the extra straight up now, and they're away. It's a close one, I'll leave that up to the lap score. As they break, it looks like Rob Wilson hits the front, followed by number one. We'll see how that performs through the afternoon. Rob Wilson it is, holding off over Matthews. John Stafford, number 81 in third place. So it's Rob Wilson and Milo Miles in the chair. Matthew's trying the outside line this time. Has he got the legs on the Wilson? Over Matthews, here's Simon Wall, Rob Wilson and Milo Miles in the second place. So away we go, and again a mixture of experience and youngsters in this one. John Jefferies at Italy, so Phil Ambrose in second. The front three locked together as they go down that back. Come off that bottom turn. Phil Ambrose has come back in second place.
Jefferies. Peter Lloyd now moving through as well, but at the very, very front of this race, he's got a great scrap going on between Steve Daw and Phil Ambrose. Steve Daw wanting to get a win first time out. Into the last lap he goes. Phil Ambrose wants to get the win. Again, you can see they're battling on the far side. As they come towards the line, it's Phil Ambrose that gets it. Terrific race. Steve Daw looks very, very determined, and whilst he might have said on paper that Matt Reed was going to dominate that race, he just had to watch it all going on in front of him. Tremendous solo racing to finish the first collection of those first rides. Away cleanly, he's made the best of the start. Mike Hughes again, but I think Paul Cooper and Steve Daw both ready for the battle to go into that first turn. So once again Mike Hughes has made a very good start, but not able to hold it in that first turn. Paul Cooper goes on the inside of Steve Daw. Steve Daw comes back at Paul Cooper. Tremendous scrap this one promises to be. Steve Daw forced to go wide, and Paul Cooper holding a very good line on the inside. Paul Cooper has held it on that bend, but Steve Daw is not out of contention. Looks for the inside on the bottom bend. Cuts across Paul Cooper. Paul will look to hold it tight again on this top bend as Steve Daw goes very, very wide. Oh, Paul Cooper has indeed got in front. So Steve Daw gets right out in the loop. Cuts back underneath again. So, two totally different styles as they go into these bottom turn for the third time. Paul Cooper holding it very, very tight indeed. What a talent this Paul Cooper is turning out to be this year. And I'm sure there's a lot of people hoping that he will qualify through to the Masters at this meeting today. And he locks it sideways, which gives the edge back to Steve Daw. Steve Daw comes underneath Paul Cooper and gets to the front, but again he's gone wide. There goes the checkered flag. I think, well I only think, he went to Steve Daw. I'll check with the lap scorers, but once again, a tremendous solo race. Get underway. We're looking to see who's made the best of it, and there's Reg Blackburn on the inside. John Hiscock, and you can see on the far outside. Three together as they go in that first bend. They sort themselves out though as John Hiscock is on the long way round. The pit bend as well, but he does look now to have a wheel in front, but Reg Blackburn responds. So Reg Blackburn up into the lead. Colin working hard, helping down out I think in this qualifier. Looked as if he just got a wheel in front on this pit bend, but Reg Blackburn has responded brilliantly, and he's now making John Hiscock work very hard if he wants to make it 2 out of 2 wins. And around the outside he goes once again. One more lap to go. Ray and Jarno Glascock, but Reg Blackburn looks as if he wants to make this one his. Ray and Jarno Glascock close up on John Hiscock in this final bend. As the second flag goes, that's how it's going to finish. Reg Blackburn gets the win, John Hiscock in second, and Ray Glascock in third. Second place as they get underway. Dave Ron Hill doing there as well as Tony Daw and left hand side on that first bend. I think that was Tony Daw that connected with him as the rider fell. You see we've got a red flag out because we've got riders and machinery on that first bend. sort themselves out as they get into that first bend. James Rogers has got to the front. Red Blackburn is in second. Mick Tower in third at the moment. Oh, that was Duncan Fish who was having problems, number 18, and while that's been going on, you can see that Mick Tower has got past Reg Blackburn. Now you remember they lost his passenger in his last week. He missed out on any points as well from that third ride, and he's now chasing after James Rogers, as Simon Wall's now having a go at Reg Blackburn as well. As they move up to that top bend, the lead with outfit number 4, James Rogers and Damien James. Victor, we lose an outfit on this top turn. That's Simon and Chris Wall. As they get underway, Richard Thomas has made a very good start. He's got John Hiscock and Jason Gill there with him. Problems for Sean Conway Baker as he goes into that first turn. The yellow flags and indeed red flags come out. We've got a sidecar outfit and the crew members on the track on the far side. And obviously the medical crews will be making their attendance to those fallen riders.
Here we take a closer look at Conway Baker's outfit, and you can see that the front forks have nigh on collapsed. There's a huge split in one side and the handlebars are bent. I'm not sure how bad the rest of the outfit was, but I think it's quite second hand. The frame's probably a bit twisted, but it amazes me most of the time these outfits bounce around as if they're made of rubber. And they do weigh a fair amount, and that's why if you get hit by one of them they do tend to sting a bit.
Made a very good start. He gets away from the rest of the field. Now who's going after him? I can see and Damien James are on the inside. Earl and Mark Whitelam are there with them as well as they go into this bottom turn, and both outfits have picked up and thrown both rider and passenger off on this bottom turn, so again we will see a red flag. And in fact it is Malcolm Simmons has gone around the outside. So Malcolm Simmons makes the best of it from that outside. They start to sort themselves out now as they come past me for the second time. Keith Booth is the rider in light blue that's trying to go around the outside of Oliver Allen, and those two together are closing up on Malcolm Simmons. Very quick and very wide. Oliver Allen recognises that and cuts back in on the inside. Ray Morton now trying to get on terms with the deep. Perhaps starts to get used to the circuit. This is the first time that he's Malcolm Simmons still with the lead. So watch Ray Morton, number 1, coming through. You can see Oliver Allen in sight now, looks to the right line. Pushes on hard, then round the outside of Oliver Allen. All the way around once again. Looks as if he's got used to it just in time as he comes towards the top of the line. Ray Morton gets the win. Malcolm Simmons in second. Oliver Allen in third. Full time as Neville Penfold with Miles Simmons in the chair on that very distinctive Speedway Star outfit as they get away, and it is Neville Penfold that's made the best of the stars. Kenny Hamill is there with him though, and it's Kenny Hamill that drops into the front as he goes around that first turn. Kenny Hamill's been here before though, he knows the circuit well. He's a very, very quick competitor. Into the top bend he goes, and what better advert for this machinery than going out racing like this. Off the bottom turn they come. And as we look for the 1, 2, 3, it is John Halsey that's back in third place at the moment. So can John Halsey catch those 1, 2? Kenny Hammill really one more lap to go then, but this is the first of the right-hand sidecars, and as Kenny Hammill gone wide. Neville Penfold has seen a gap on the inside, he lets it over there. Kenny Hammill changed his direction. John Halsey has gone wide, and as the checkered flag comes out, it is a win for Neville Penfold. Hands in the air for Kenny Hammill. I'm not sure whether he's picked up a back wheel penalty. It does look to be swaying sideways. Not very often seen on the Grasstrack circuits. Number 3, Richard Moore. It'll be interesting if he can get that Speedway outfit going. Rides 100% Speedway. Richard Thomas has made the best of the start. Well, Wilson's now got to watch that he doesn't let Ivor Matthews through as well. And at the moment it is still Richard Thomas. Remind you of course that last weekend at the Wimborne circuit last weekend. He was in terrific form then, pleased to be back in the starting lineup for the British Masters and showing exactly why. Very disappointed that he missed out on the race. Thomas and Kevin Woodley working hard on the inside. Rob Wilson and Tony Miles forced to stay wide, forced to drive hard in both bends, and again they get very, very go wide as the checkered flag goes, and it's going to be close, but it's a victory for Richard Thomas. Second, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles, and in third, Ivor Matthews and Simon Ward. See, in race 22, number 2, Neville Penfold and Miles Simmons. They had a win first time out. Number 24, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles. They had a terrific ride, but finished in second place. And well, sure, having seen John Halsey get a win there, they'll want to do the same thing. Second, in fact, to Richard Thomas as they get underway. Oh, it is Rob Wilson that shows first. Neville Penfold is right there with him though as he pulls it in on the inside. Try and keep it tight. They don't want to leave any gaps on the inside. They know that Neville Penfold is right there with them. Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh up in third place. Don't want to lose momentum with those front two. Lock it up hard in the middle of that bend. They're riding a very, very tight line on that bottom turn. And this is looking to be a very quick one as again Neville Penfold looks for the gap on the inside. It really is the middle of the bends that the outfit seems to have the advantage. One more lap to go. Rob Wilson looking this to be his first win. Has never been very comfortable indeed as they come towards the checkered flag. They take the win. Neville Penfold gets second. Gary Jackson in third. going after Poacher. Tommy Palmer trying to get on through to the first. He's in fourth place. Looking for looking to hold as much time. Losing that to go front two. It's Poacher. Leaves Ramage going in second. Oh, that really was tight on the line between Poacher and his
Who's it going to be? 6 outfits aimed down towards the first turn. Only one can have it. You could put them all in the back of a transit van as they went round that corner. Nobody is giving an inch. Nobody is expecting to get an inch. Drop back and have a second attempt, but it's all happening on the front line. Full walk off at the back of the field. Those 3 front outfits are getting closer and closer. Mike Reed leads it. Keith Drury in second place. It's all happening here. Fast and furious stuff. Mike Reed certainly got the bit between his teeth. Keith Drury and Richard Webb can't find a way through. Can they force one? The last lap flag goes. It's now or never if it's going to happen. Mike Reed, Masters. Half a lap remaining. Keith Drury and Richard Webb coming really close, and look at Chris Salisbury coming on the outside of Keith Drury. It's going to be tight on the line here. 3 outfits coming for it. Get ready, that scorers. What a tremendous finish to a tremendous race. What can the solos do to answer that? Previous race went ahead. Oh, and a nasty tumble there, and 3 or 4 machines carwheeling down the track. We must have a red flag. What bad luck there in the national championships. Everybody's trying just that little bit too hard. This race being brought to a halt in the interest of safety. There is carnage on the far side of the track. 4 machines, I believe, in total, laying on the floor. Chris Knowles, I can see, is there. Can't pick anybody else out from this distance, I'm afraid, but absolute carnage out of that corner. One man dropped it and the others had absolutely nowhere to go. .350s and it's Craig Smith that leads. Gator, that Craig Smith. He certainly gets off that line with a vengeance. He makes his way around this turn, flat out, and here he comes. Craig Smith. Mechanical problem in his first ride. Oh, and he's got another crash out of that corner there, and I believe that was Peter Knowles that went down that time. He's just not his lucky day. He's still on the floor. is rolling around a little bit. The red flags are out. The race is stopped once again in the interest of safety. Here they come, race 23 underway. Out of the first turn. Not sure who that was who sneaked through on the inside there, but I'll pick the number up. My eyesight's not that bad. 93 indeed. Going for gold. There holding on to second place at the moment. Dave Rumsey's struggling through into fifth at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth place at the moment. Good tight line for him. He should be able to make up some ground with riding like that. Ian Guthrie bringing up the rear. Flat out of that turn and coming down the straight now, Matthew Child. 1 lap left to go. Wogie Giles in second. Dave Rumsey still fighting, still trying hard, but I think there's a few too many yards adrift to make it up all on one corner, and that's all there is left in this race. A little bit wide, Wogie cuts up on the inside, and Dave Rumsey's right there. Wogie takes it. Wimborne Whoppa. Here they come, race 25. We get Brian Palmer in this one. He's leading out of that corner. Richards breathing right down his neck, and he's got his front wheel alongside the other back wheel, but Mike Reed powers on into the turn, holds the bottom on just a bit longer and comes round high, wide and handsome. Look at Keith Richards sneaking up on the inside, and look, Brad Palmer's coming. Are in 6th place at the moment and fighting for it. Well, I can hear somebody who said there's somebody shouting out there. Do you mind? I'm trying to speak. Race 25, here they come, the 500cc chariots. Chariots of Fire, and Mike Reed. Baz Palmer and Danny Hobbs, previous British champions in their own right, breathing down his neck in second place. In third place is number 5, Andy Hopkins, and Gordon Langford. All systems go here. Those front 3 have not given an inch. And Andy Hopkins is challenging Raz Palmer. He's gone right around the outside. If he can hold on to this, he's going to move into second place. But Raz pulls it tight. The checkered flag is out. It's going to be Mike Reed, Raz Palmer. Tony Dart slides a little wide off that corner. Mitch Godden tries to tighter line, but it's Tony Dart that leads. Mitch Godden in second place. Then it's Mark Giles, Paul Austin, Gareth Roberts, Darren Rolls, Gary Lane. Tony Dart really goes through Poacher and Mitch Godden's trying to make up a bit of lost ground. They've got 2 more laps to go. Mitch Godden makes his move on the outside. Back for that inside run around that corner, and who's it going to be at the line? Oh, that's very, very close. We've got 1 more lap of this to go, and Mitch Godden pushing hard on the inside. Now cutting back on the inside, a beautiful bit of corner. Tony Daw's on the outside, Mitch Godden on the inside, but it's Tony Daw that takes it. On the ropes through the bottom corner here, you can see the machine and rider name there. Rider is getting up. Due to the post and things in the while, I can't see who that is. Looks like it's young Gary Hayward, who takes his crash helmet off and throws it down in disgust. Oh, don't know who's going to have to come and get the bike.
Dad?
Race 25 in your programme, race 24 separated between the races 23 and 25. All systems go here. Neil Owen pushing hard after Neville Penfold. Neville Penfold leads him. Graham Ashby the chair. Then it's Neil Owen. Winding up the God's motor. Neil Owen pushing hard, trying to make up some ground on Neville Penfold. Neville Penfold holding on to his lead, but I wouldn't call it a comfortable one. Neil Owen then trying to go around the outside. Neil Owen pushing hard in second place. Neil Owen challenging there, trying to come back onto the inside run. He's going to be all over the back of Neville Penfold's bike, hoping that Neville will make a mistake, lock him up in the wrong direction. Neil Owen comes up on the inside and through he goes. Neville Penfold relegated to second at the moment. Neil Owen overcooks it a bit, and all he really is up in the air there. Neville Penfold wants that thing back, and the grid's just going to Neil Owen. And second place to Neville Penfold. What a cracking race. Flat out off the start line, and here they come. Rob Heath and Andy Butler are right alongside Tony Penfold. And Carl Bell. And we got Dominic Doyle. We have three outfits going round. That's it, they both want that trophy. Hard at it, I should say so. Rob Heath and Andy Butler force their way through to the front. Tony Penfold, having already won the left-hand final, would also like to take the first mile trophy. Flat down this back straight, but there's no love lost between these two, and look, there's only a bike's length in between them. That sort of gap can be closed up on one corner. And Tony Penfold's doing it. Tony Penfold's coming right around the outside. Rob Heath and Andy Butler holding that tight inside line, and now that's up to about 3 bikes advantage, so looks like Rob Heath and Andy Butler could have this one in the bag, but Tony Penfold is right there. Whoever thought now is pushing the bike up the circuit out. This is the left third place runner, but the guys are on the front. These two are still not very far apart as they enter the pit's turn again. Tony Penfold now trying the inside line and really coming up alongside Rob Heath. It's going to be a tight one. One more lap to go. Tony Penfold squeezes in there and he's got his wheels in front, but Rob Heath cuts back. Rob Heath cuts back. It's a cracking race. Tony Penfold cuts back on the outside. Ambrose got inside, he goes for the outside. He's right over the back wheel of that bike, but he's not going to get there. Oh, how close was that? How close was that? I'm not the judge, I'm just the announcer. Right-hand side cars away then, and here they come. Here the aim is Kev Jones picking up on the front line. Neville Penfold right in there in second place, right on the inside. A good battle between those two, but Ian the aim is picking it up out of that corner. And Neville Penfold scorches up the inside and takes that lead from him as they go down to the next turn. Round the pits turn they come then. It's Neville Penfold, number 2 on the outfit. From number 8, Ian the Amis and Kev Jones. And Mick Turrell, Tony Baseby power through into second place and come up on the back wheel of Neville Penfold. Three outfits close together with Justin Shaw. That's Nicky Owen. Lee Ray and Nicky Owen, the right colour, wrong man. It's all systems go on this front line though as Neville Penfold holding on to it narrowly. And Mick Turrell, Tony Baseby pushing hard in second spot. Flatting out down that back straight, Mick Turrell makes his move. Oh, a big wheelie, and off goes Tony Baseby. The outfit's off away on its own. Neville Penfold's got a big wide line out of that corner, but I think he knows what's happened behind him.
Look at the state of this outfit. It's totally bent up, handlebars are broken. Well, it is just a mess. If they make the Whoppa, it'll be a miracle.
Yeah, I've just got my leg. He'll be alright. Just getting on his feet. I didn't turn up here with a walk. You're alright, mate? Yeah.
Right there in second place. Then it's Clive Holland and Neil Marshall. Graham Hilton and Colin Clark leading this one. Paul Holland and Phil Darrington right there in second place and pushing hard. Then it's Clive Holland and Neil Marshall in third. Those three outfits close up. Making that 400 by 18 trials time, work hard. On the rear of his outfit, it's Graham Hilton and Colin Clark from Paul Holland and Phil Durrant. Now Clive Holland making up ground in third place with Neil Marshall in the chair. He's putting pressure on the second place man. Graham Hilton's putting the wide open. This will be interesting because the other two now are in very close combat together and they could mess each other up. Paul Holland goes right there and he's just managed to, oh no, he's just caught the ropes at a very steady pace. His passenger, Phil Darrant, on the floor. The red flags are out.
The fairing bashing going on the top turn. But who do we have out in front? It looks like Penfold again. No, Rob Heath it is actually. Followed by number 42, Martin Jones. So Rob Heath and Andy Butler. And the advantage over Martin Jones and Mike Harrison. So Martin Jones has a rather quick engine there by the look of it. Penfold and Bell in second place at the moment. He won his first time out, they'll be looking for another win. Martin Jones in the advantage at the moment. But if he's got the horses, he should come out Penfold shut the door, true racing style. Moy and Jones have squeezed through again. And they're just about a win there for number 25, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. Good race, that. Pick them up as they come round for the first time. So for number 7, which is Eowyn Bowman and Odin Castle. They weren't to my reckoning. They've upset the form book. So it's Bowman and Castle with a good advantage at the moment. All points carry forward today, the final included. It's all about scoring points. Well, a nasty spill on the finish line. That's a red flag situation.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Sorry. What's the guard? There's a hell of a hole there. The ball's in out? Okay. Is that right? Yeah, great, thank you. Let it down a bit more.
Final compilation. Keep through it is with the advantage. Andy Hopkins in second, Lester Goodwin in third, Chris Olvey fourth, Gary Lloyd down in fifth place. He's time in that first one. And Keith Drury, can he win the big Whopper? Can he take a big victory? Lester Goodwin just sitting watching the scrap. He'll look to make a move if anybody makes a mistake. So it's going to be Andy Hopkins and Guy Mitchell, the local crew. Goodwin goes through on Drury now, but it's too late to move now. Andy Hopkins and Guy Mitchell, the local crew. Well, what did they waited? They watched and they waited.
Out of 6th place, and the winning time was 1:22.05. 1:22.05. Number 62 leading is Matt Child for the Midland Centre. Matt Child, the brother of James from up near Kidderminster, and coming under extreme pressure as he loses first 1 place, then 2 places. 71, the youngster from Yorkshire. Number 71 is Lee Compton. Now Lee Compton has won the British Youth title, several of the British Youth titles on several occasions. This is one of the young guns of British Grasstrack. second place, Richard Smith, former British champion. Then we have number 62, Matt Child, followed by the South Midland Centre's David Rumsey. That's the order. Bringing up the rear is the Western Centre rider, Steve Daw. Lee Tomlin just on the line. Martin Matthews, number 8, comes in this one and stays in place of Stuart Collier. That's Paul Cooper. He's got the numbers the right way around this time, that's Paul. If you remember, he came out before with number 37 on. But Paul Cooper it is who leads, racing for the East Yorkshire team. But, Mark Giles. Oliver Allen's also mixing it with them as well. We have a three-way race here on our hands. Incredible racing there. Little Oliver Allen coming through on the inside. Oh, we got the young guns. Oliver Allen leads. Paul Cooper in second. Mark Giles in third. Now Paul Cooper is challenging Oliver Allen. Paul Cooper up on the inside of Oliver Allen. It's wheel to wheel. Allen versus Cooper. Cooper on the inside goes back in the lead. He drops into third. He's back up to the lead again now. This is incredible racing. Oh, what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Incredible rider. Paul Cooper going right back to third place and coming back to win. Absolutely sensational. After this one. So it's the veteran this time out leading the way, but Tony Dart putting the pressure on Peter Lloyd. Peter Lloyd, Tony Dart in second place. In third place is Simon Davey. So we haven't seen Simon Davey beaten that much this afternoon, have we? And here he is back in third place. But Peter Lloyd. Inside, another incredible race there as he takes the checkered flag. This is sponsored by Antic Engineering, 500 Solos. Followed by number 74, John Hartley. John Hartley from the East Yorkshire side, probably the first time I think he's raced down in the South Midland Centre. And holding that second place at the moment. advance. It's going well for the South Midland Centre. He's up there in third place. Centre getting a good placing in this one. For those of you who don't know, Kevin from Yeovil getting faster and faster and faster. Went down, and a great scrap there from the back. And it's the Midlander who leads, James Child for the Midlands, number 58. Not for long though, as he comes under pressure. We have another great scrap on the hand. James Child like he's up there on the track. The moment, Jason Stott it is who for the Midlands. Midlands wrong there tonight. Jason Stott basically carrying on where he left off before his semi-retirement. Jason 17 gets second, that's Richard Smith, in third place was 58. The other gentleman, I mentioned, James Carr. .92, 1 minute 35.92. Back with the lightweight machine, the 250cc solo. Scott leads. Keith Strudwick for the South Eastern Centre, up there in second place. Former British champion Graham Thomas lying in about 6th place for the Midlands at the moment. Of course, not have a lot of Number 68, Paul Cooper, is back out in this one. He's fought his way up into second place. So Jason Stott, Paul Cooper and Keith Strudwick. Paul Cooper then starts to challenge. Paul Cooper goes around the outside of Jason Stott. The youngster then tries the outside line. Jason Stott holds on. Again we have another wheel-to-wheel battle. Jason Stott's not giving up though. He comes up on the outside of Paul Cooper. Tremendous racing. But leading the way, number 17, Richard Smith. So Richard Smith for the Eastern Centre. And the 250s closing up on each other. The Midlander The Street is out there, posted in the 71. For 17, just holding off 69. So James Coplin there getting in second place. Richard Smith was the winner. Right, on we go with the 250cc final then. The finals will be after the climax this weekend. Richard Smith for the Eastern Centres had a great day, former British champion in the 250cc class, and Richard Smith there leads, well, basically what is a British Championship standard class of 250cc riders. Number 68, that's Paul Cooper. The young man from Yorkshire is going to mount a challenge on Richard, but loses a bit of ground coming out of those pit turns. Still Richard Smith holds on for the lead. Steve Daw going well for the Eastern Centre in fourth place. Then we got a rider from the Midlands, but Paul Cooper makes his move. Richard Smith versus Paul Cooper, they're side by side. Richard Smith keeps it tight on the inside, Paul Cooper on the outside. What a run to the final, Paul Cooper goes wide. Paul Cooper wins. Paul Cooper from Richard Smith, third. And wow, then it was Midlander James Child, number 58. Incredible racing. Number 54, Tony Dart. So again, the young guns are out there in front with Paul Cooper being chased by Tony Dart. Tony Dart's closing on Paul Cooper all the way. Tony Dart from South Midland Centre, Paul Cooper. Then we got number 56, which is Mark Giles in those colours. Tony Dart tried to squeeze through on the inside on that fifth turn. He lost a lot of ground. He's going to have to make up again, and he's chasing Paul Cooper all the way. Now Mark Giles is flying. He's on the absolute set. Paul Cooper will have to go from Tony Dart. What about this? Mark Giles and Oliver Allen. Oliver Allen. Nice back. Mark Giles. We have a great scrap for first and second, and also second and third as Tony Dart comes through. Now Paul Cooper's fighting back. It's Tony Dart who wins. Paul Cooper second, Oliver Allen third, and Mark Giles fourth. Absolutely incredible racing down here in Somerset. I'm sure you'll agree. What a race.
Push, but they got away with it. Paul Knott's on the inside, Matt Reed on the outside, Glenn Phillips tucked up there on the inside as well. But it is Paul Knott that's got to the front as they come off that first turn. They come down to the fifth turn for the first one. Those two together as they go into the top bend. Well, this is the sort of racing that I was going to expect from the under-21s, and I think you'll agree that we've got a lot of sound, and Paul Knott has picked that class you might expect coming out of that. Oh, you can see for yourself exactly what had happened. It drove and drove and drove. He's up on his feet. The bike, unfortunately, on the track, so the clerk of the course putting the red flag out in the interest of safety, but very pleased to see that Noddy's back up on his feet. much better start this time. Glenn Phillips has got to the front though as they go into the first turn. Ryan Tolley in second place. And it is Ryan that goes round the outside and stays on the bank wheel of Glenn Phillips. Staying in contention with them as well as they come off that bottom turn. But as he looks over his shoulder, Glenn Phillips knows he's got competition. Ryan Tolley still there in second place. James Confident has sneaked through to third place. Matt Reed, I think, was looking for a way through himself. Getting back into that third place though. To follow and they come off that bottom turn once again. Glenn Phillips looking in superb form. Ryan Tolley staying there with him though, and what can Matt Reed do? Looks for a way through on the inside once again. Has he got a line through on the inside of Ryan Tolley? Yards down the back straight. Matt Reed now has got second place and looks for a way to the first as well. Changes his line, looks to the outside. So into the last lap we go. A terrific scrap in this second race. And Matt Reed, will he be able to get Glenn Phillips? Glenn Phillips knows he's there. He charges down the back straight. It's the outside that he's opted for. That's the big wide round, and he's going to be close on the line, and Matt Reed has done it. Matt Reed gets it on the line. A terrific ride from Matt Reed. Commiserations, of course, to Glenn Phillips. That was a terrific ride from Glenn. Tatum has got away. Oh, Joe Screen is in there as well, and Paul Hurry. Three Brits together as they come off that first turn. Paul Hurry trying to get through on the inside. Three of them together as they go into this bottom turn, but Paul Hurry just has the... Joe Screen in third, and they all try to change it on the top end. Joe Screen is getting in front of Kelvin Tatum as well, but Kelvin comes up. Where did he get that speed from? Joe Screen hangs onto that machine in the middle of the bend. They both chase after Paul Hurry, who is absolutely motoring at the moment. Paul Hurry, tremendous ride. Kelvin Tatum and Joe Screen, what a scrappy competition. Well, you couldn't have separated them on the line as they come past me. Paul Hurry certainly has got away and has got the lead. That is so pushing hard on the exit of the bend, but that's going to be how it finishes. Tremendous heat. Fantastic win for Paul Hurry. Joe Screen has again piled the points on as the wild card. Kelvin Tatum in third place. That must be the hardest race he's had for a long time. You can see that John Hiscock knows he's got to go for it in this one. We've got Paul Johnson on the outside trying to stay with Gary Jackson. Mick Terrell is coming through as well. So Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh leading as they go into the bottom turn. Paul Johnson is right there with him though as they go around that bottom turn. John Hiscock is John Hiscock trying to go around the outside as well to get up into second place. He knows he needs the points in this one. Paul Johnson and Dave French lead from Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. John Hiscock and Jason Gill still there in with a chance of fighting for those. Hiscock go through on the inside. As they come off that top third, John Hiscock looks to have that second place. Certainly has. Gary Jackson is fighting back. But Paul Johnson and Dave French are having a terrific ride up the front of the field. They're going to get maximum points. Into the top turn, it'll be the checkered flag this time. We'll see how they're going to finish. Gary Jackson goes wide towards the line and John Hiscock has just got it. Oh, terrific last bend between those two, and that was only for a second place. Paul Johnson had already got the win, and that really does make it very, very tight. They go, and Matthias Krug, you remember, was leading the race before it was stopped. He's back in third place and he'll fight his way through on that first bend. Kruger is starting to turn it on now as he locks it up in the bottom bend, looks for drive up the straight as he's got himself in front of his fellow German competitor Bernd Dana. He's second place. Does he know that he needs to win? Well, looks as if he has at the moment, because he really is fighting for it. He goes round the outside of Matthias Kruger, though Kruger is responding. So Kruger with a very quick line on the inside. There goes Dana again, and he gets himself in front of He's done the homework. I'm sure he knows that a win was what he needed. As he goes over the line for the last lap, Kruger is responding though, and Kruger's coming back at him. Well, the next night of wine, you know, what's going on in front of him. I'm hearing from up above me that although it looked to be a terrific ride from Bernd Dana, his pit crew and Bernd himself are going to be very disappointed to hear that he went outside the circuit. Go into that first turn. That is in fact Stefan Petteruda gets to the front as they go into that first turn. A red flag straight away. The red flag comes up, and of course the first aid officials straight away going over to the fallen rider.
That didn't cut out. It did. When the fight.
You can see the difficulty the marshals are having trying to get the stake out of the back wheel, and in the end they decide to take the bike and the stake back to the paddock to try and do something there. They probably have to remove the back wheel to get the stake out. It looks very nasty indeed. It's very difficult. I've seen these stakes before. They get wedged in these back wheels in the frame and they're virtually impossible to remove. You can't get them out just by pulling them out like this guy's trying. But I'm sure when they got back to the paddock they took the wheel out and they had no difficulty at all.
Have you got one there? I've got one there. It's not good. He's there.
He hit someone up the back, didn't he?
John Olsen's
him. Rob Wilson up there as well, Gary Jackson in fourth. So those together as they come round that top bend, it is Duncan Tolhurst on the inside that's coming through. Rob Wilson on the outside. John Halsey's got them coming at him from all directions. So as the dust clears, I'm trying to pick it up because they've certainly changed predictions in that bottom bend. These two so used to racing together. They've got Duncan Tolhurst in there with them as well, sitting watching what's going on. And John Halsey tries to force Rob Wilson wide, and has he let Duncan Tolhurst through? Duncan Tolhurst saw the gap created, and Rob Wilson and Tony Miles have got themselves to the front. John Halsey can now only chase on. Fighting there in third place, but Rob Wilson and Tony Miles are now starting to look a little bit comfortable. They're a little bit wider than everybody else, but they've still got the speed and they've got the lead. Colin Blackburn has been slowly moving his way through. He's up into fourth place, with all eyes, I'm sure, on the front. Can John Halsey do it on the last bit? Not quite. Rob Wilson shuts the door on him. John Halsey has to lock it all up in the middle of the bend, and indeed he's lost that on that top bend. Problems for John Halsey. Rob Wilson takes it, and where did Colin Blackburn come from? Colin Blackburn and Martin Bailey come from absolutely nowhere. But we were all watching the mayhem, and I'm pretty sure that John Halsey has hit a backfield punch.
James Charles again making a flying start. Following in second place this time. Paul Cooper blasting around the outside. He's up into second place. There's all sorts of things happening on that first turn. Following out. Thomas problems again. Graham Thomas looks like he's lost the rear chain. So it's James Child again with the lead. The Virgin in Paul Cooper in second place. Daniel Slater again having a super ride in third place. Jason Stock moving up from fifth, now into third place, going down the back straight. So it's Child, Cooper on the outside, and Stock now in third place. Daniel Slater in fourth. David Knowles with diesel problems in fifth place. So Cooper's having to go around the outside as Child down the back straight. This is Cooper's turn now to take up the lead. So James Charles comes out, still in front. Take the last lap, flag side by side over the line. Cooper around the outside, Charles on the inside. Super stuff this from these two. And Charles, Cooper makes a mistake, missed the gear there going down the back straight. Going to be a race to the line now. Cooper on the outside, Child on the inside. It's looking like James Child's favourite. And it was a win for James Child with Paul Cooper in second, Stoffy in third, Daniel Slater in fourth.
Mitch Cotton gets away. Malcolm Simmons is there in second place. Malcolm Simmons goes briefly into the lead on the first turn. Malcolm Simmons leads it. Mitch Cotton goes back to third. Tony Daw trying to come around the outside. Malcolm Simmons leads. Systems go. Simo pulls it back on the inside. He's still holding the lead. Tony Daw struggling to keep up with Mitch Cotton right there in with it as well. But Simo leads. It's the Malcolm Simmons of old. Powering towards victory. Tony Daw snatches it on the outside over, locks it up, and Simo takes it back again. Mitch Cotton moves up in a second place. It's a big fight for the first place here. Mitch Cotton moving up on the inside. Malcolm Simmons leaving it, holding on to it. He's doing everything he can to stick with it. Malcolm Simmons holding on. Mitch Cotton sticking there. Last lap flag goes out. It's Malcolm Simmons leading. It's Mitch Cotton in second place. Tony Daw in third. Then Paul Knott in fourth as they go round on the last turn. We have a fallen rider down that far end, but Malcolm Simmons leads the way. Mitch Godden coming through on the inside this time. Mitch Godden picks it up. Malcolm Simmons throttles off a little bit and lets him take it. Mitch Godden powering around the outside. Malcolm Simmons is right there on the inside. It's a win for Mitch Godden. Second for Malcolm Simmons. Third for 77, Tony Daw. Then 29, Paul Knott. Solos were on to leg 3. Here they come. 75, Lee Street, 124. Keith Strudwick picks it up in front of him. Lee Street goes to the inside of Keith Strudwick. Adam Shipp is right there in third place. And then we've got 124, Keith Strudwick on the inside, 75, Lee Street on the outside. Lee Street cutting back on the inside of Keith Strudwick this time. Remember, these two are best pairs champions. Perhaps they're getting a bit of practice in here this afternoon, riding close together. Keith Strudwick won't give in easily. Keith Strudwick coming up on the inside of Lee Street. Lee Street leads it. Keith Strudwick in second place. Keith Strudwick goes through. Lee Street fights back and cuts up on the inside again, but Keith Strudwick seems to have the advantage this time. It's Keith Strudwick from Lee Street. From Adam Shipp, Chris Still, Chris Pye, Malcolm Beanie, Kevin Taylor. One more lap to go for Keith Strudwick, well clear now of Lee Street. From Adam Shipp in third. Chris Still and Chris Pye. Malcolm Beanie, Kevin Taylor, Rob Hargrave. Flat out round that turn then, there's the checkered flag, a win for Keith Strudwick. Second for the British champion Lee Street. Third to 16, Adam Shipp. Then it's Chris Pye, Chris Still, Malcolm Beanie. Left-hand Sidecars, here they come, flat out down the first turn. It's that Steve Maitland that makes it down to the front again. We've got Graham Hilton in second place and Hugh Phillips in third. Hugh Phillips, the defending champion, in third place at the moment. Can he see his way through here? He winds up that motor.
So he said...
Closes on up on Graham Hilton's back wheels. Graham Hilton closes up on Steve Maitland. Steve Maitland riding a very good defensive race here. He's holding a good line. Hugh Phillips getting on the inside of Graham Hilton.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Flat out down that back straight then. Steve Maitland and Dave Hollands holding on to this one. Graham Hilton and Colin Clark in second. Then it's Hugh Phillips.
Well, it would be.
And Aled Thomas. Graham Hilton still holding on to that second. Hugh Phillips struggling to try and find a way through. Points make a place in the final, and I consider these points are going to be very close at the end of this lot. We could be looking at run-offs. Three of them very close together. Hugh Phillips trying to come through there. Hugh Phillips right up alongside Steve Maitland, pushing hard. He's already got past Graham Hilton and he's going for it. He means business here this afternoon as he goes around the outside, but I think the help is almost touched there, and Hugh Phillips had to shut the throttle slightly to avoid an accident, and it's relegated him down, but he's having another go on this last course. Can he do it? They come out flat out of that corner side by side. Who's going to get to the finish first? It's Hugh Phillips from Steve Maitland, from Graham Hilton, from Paul Holland, and Clive Holland at the back. What a cracking race. Here we go then. Mitch Godden gets the best of the start this time. Matt Reid goes with him and Malcolm Simmons is there in third. Mitch Godden leading down the back straight. Matt Reid in second. Malcolm Simmons hanging on in there in third. I think Malcolm's not going to waste his energy in this one. He's had a couple of good race results there earlier, and I think he'll just hold on to this one for points to be in the final. Use his strength up in the final. Mitch Godden, Matt Reid, Malcolm Simmons, Mark Giles, Dyfed Evans. Who's dropped it? Seemed we lost a rider. With Mitch Cotton, here Mark Giles we lost, I think. Yeah, Mark Giles is up and okay. Number 9, Mitch Cotton leads it from 152. Matt Reed from number 30. Malcolm Simmons. 111, Dyfed Evans, 24. Paul Steinbritz, then Robin Pilcher. And Mark Giles. Mark Giles looking down at his engine, I think he's got problems there. Mitch Cotton and Matt Reed on their last lap. Malcolm Simmons cruising home in third. Matt Reed goes through on the inside of Mitch Cotton. Mitch Cotton fights back on the outside. Mitch Cotton picks it up again. Matt Reed hasn't given up yet. Matt Reed powers up on the inside. Through he goes. Mitch Cotton cuts back now to take the inside line out of this corner. It's going to be closer to finish. Who's going to get it? Come on, shout at him. Mitch Cotton takes it from Matt Reed in second place. Can't do it all on my own, you know. Malcolm Simmons in third. Broken and away, they're down the first straight. Hugh Phillips has made a cracker of it. Hugh Phillips and Alan Thomas speed into the first turn. Steve Bader goes around the outside. Martin Cuff comes through the inside. Jason Ralph falls off. There's all mayhem on the first turn. The red flags are out. I think Martin Cuff's got the worst of it, which he would do without a passenger. And Jason Ralph on the circuit.
As they come down past me, that is indeed confirmed as Trevor Banks has got the lead from Mark Taylor. Oh, number 19 there, I just maybe they've made this track a little bit shorter, and it will suit him a little bit better. Trevor Banks leads then from Mark Taylor in second, from Sean Bickley in third. Phil Knowles trying to fight his way through there. Oh, a good little scrap going on for that third place, but unfortunately one of our riders on that sort of bet.
Well, for those of you who couldn't get to the Lincolnshire Poacher this year, you missed one hell of a storm. As you can see, the rain was absolutely torrential. And after race 14, they got race 15 on the line. You can hear the thunder in the background. They just could not race on the original circuit. It was absolutely saturated. And would you want to have been a cameraman standing up in that storm? No, I didn't want to be either.
Here they come up the first straight. All these two races condensed into one. Adam Shipp goes into the lead. Adam Shipp, his partner, is 67, David Knowles, and he looks like he's going around the outside there. Those two seem to have this together. They're well clear of the rest of them. Keith Strudwick in third. His partner is in fifth place at the moment and moves through into fourth. That's Lee Street. All systems go here, but look at these front two runners. 16, Adam Shipp and David Knowles leading this one. 1, 2, 4, Keith Strudwick and Lee Street, they're now partners now up into second place. They'll need to do better than this to take the title this afternoon. So partners in first and second, partners in third and fourth. Keith Strudwick trying to split up those front pairing. Lee Street holding a good tight line as he does. And he's got Stephen Norrick, Gary Wells, there another pairing, and then 59 Chris Bay and 31 Phil Simmons. And Chris Still, Malcolm Beattie, John Belcher and Brian Cornelius. Lee Street moves up into third now. Keith Strudwick drops it down to fourth. Keith Strudwick looks like he could get pipped by this other man, but here they come at the last lap flag. It's 67. David Knowles from 16. Adam Shipp. Lee Street tries to break that partnership up as he tries to go for second. Keith Strudwick is there in fourth. Lee Street's got that second at the moment. Can he hold it? He goes for first. He's through. Lee Street, what a dramatic ride from fifth actually, up into first place, but he's lost it back into second at the moment. It's going to be a mad dash for the line. The checkered flag is there. Lee Street, David Knowles, that was close. That was very, very, very close indeed. I'll wait for the official verdict on that one. In this one, Hugh Phillips takes a funny route up the first straight, but he's there. Tony Penfold gets past him though on that first corner. Billy Penfold is struggling with the Honda Fireblade. Only 1 point adrift at the start of this third leg, but that has cost the pairing dear. Such a shame. Tony Penfold, his partner, is leading the race. Hugh Phillips is right there in second place. Terry Nicholas is in third. Terry Nicholas has seen that Billy Penfold's in trouble and he realises that there is no point in causing mayhem now, and he can just run around, pick up that third place. That will be good points at the head of this table. Very, very wise move. Billy Penfold trying to get that Fireblade to fire up again, but he's not having any of it. Tony Penfold holding on to a slender lead from Hugh Phillips. Hugh Phillips doesn't seem to know that he doesn't have to win this race. Hugh goes for it. He's a natural born racer. He's really powering after that Tony Penfold. Not only does he want to win it on points, he wants to win it by winning it. And that's a racer for you. He's come all the way from Welsh Wales. He's not going to give up now. Look at how close they are as they come up to that last lap flag. Tony Penfold and Carl Bell from Hugh Phillips. Bill Penfold gets his bike going, but I can't see him completing 3 from 4 in the time left available. Look at those two firing away down that back straight. Hugh Phillips doesn't need to do this, but he's guaranteed to make a race of it. His partner just cruising up over the last lap flag now, and then the checkered flag comes out, and who's going to get it? This is going to be tight. Watch this one. Tony Penfold, I think, just from Hugh Phillips. A nice close finish there, and Hugh Phillips waves to him and says, thanks for a great race, mate. That's what he came down here to do. He didn't come down to ride his bike, he came down to race it. Left-hand sidecar final, here they come. Hugh Phillips makes the best of the start. Ooh! Cutting across on the inside line there, Rob Heath and Andy Butler have to shut the throttle a little bit as Hugh Phillips closed the door a bit early on that one. They're going around the outside of Hugh Phillips now. Hugh Phillips guns it down that back straight. These two are at it. These two mean business. Hugh Phillips wants it. So does Rob Heath. Rob Heath has his partner right there behind him. Terry Nicholas needs to get through from third into second place. Rob Heath wants to get through into first place. Hugh Phillips is doing a summer dance routine on the left with the Yamaha there. Occupying all the track to try and keep Rob Heath at bay. Only 4 laps of this. Team Penfold in 5th and 6th places at the moment. Hugh Phillips going down on the inside now of Rob Heath. Rob Heath trying around the outside again. Rob Heath on the Heath Yamaha leading this one. Hugh Phillips relegated to second place. Hugh Phillips powering on after him, and for my money, Rob Heath will take this with those positions, but I could be wrong because I'm not a very good mathematician. Rob Heath and Andy Butler leading. Hugh Phillips and Alan Thomas in second place. Then Terry Nicholas and Richard Murray. Look at Hugh Phillips coming round there now. The last lap flag is out. Even the flagman's getting excited on this one. Rob Heath goes a little wide. Hugh Phillips is right there with him. Hugh Phillips won't give it in. She's got 1 lap in which to try and take this back from him. It's all tight stuff on that turn. Hugh Phillips now going for the outside run. He's giving a big one. Look at him go down that back straight. He comes up alongside his front wheels in front as he goes into the next turn. It's now or never. Rob Heath seems to have no answer to the mad Welshman. The Welshman now powering out on that turn. He's going to get his front wheel across there first. Where's his partner? What are the points going to do? Hugh Phillips takes it. Rob Heath fought hard for second place there. A brilliant piece of riding. Terry Nicholas takes third. Steve Maitland gets fourth. And Team Penfold decided to stay right out of it.
lifts off that line. Paul Knott gets it. Paul Knott goes down the first turn. Jason Handy goes after him on the inside. Mitch Cotton's gone right round the outside. Tony Daw's there as well. They're hammering away down that back straight. Paul Knott comes back up into second place ahead of Tony Daw. Mitch Cotton's got the bit between his teeth here. Mitch Cotton widening it up this straight now, showing that Cotton has got all the go he needs to win these races. Paul Knott in second place, then it's Tony Daw, then Peter Lloyd. Peter Lloyd set the fastest time of the day, but he's down in fourth place at the moment. It's all happening here at Otford. The last race of the afternoon, the last one for us this season. Don't miss it. The action is hot. It's Mitch Cotton leading it. From Paul Knott. Peter Lloyd going past Paul Knott now. Paul Knott don't have any. He's fighting back, but he's gone very wide. Matt Reed's come up through on the inside. Peter Lloyd's back in fifth place. James Complin. Then Lee Cross, but it's all happening on the front line. It's the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Your last lap of Grasstrack at Otford this year, and it's number 9. Mitch Cotton, 1 lap from victory. Peter Lloyd, hard after him. Watch him close that gap up. Then it's Matt Reed. Then it's Paul Knott. Then it's Tony Daw. Then James Complin. Back to the front line. Mitch Cotton seems to have it his own way, but Peter Lloyd moves him fast on this last turn. What's going to happen here? Peter Lloyd's got a bit between his teeth, and Mitch Cotton wants it badly. Mitch Cotton leads, takes it. Number 1, Mitch Cotton from Peter Lloyd in second place, then Matt Reed, then Paul Knott, Tony Daw, James Complin. What a cracking race.
So away we go then, and Jeremy Doncaster has made a terrific start. Looking for Kelvin Tatum as he's back in third, but up into second now as they come off that top bend. They all go very, very wide. Doncaster do about it. Kelvin Tatum is head down up the back straight. This is the Kelvin Tatum Jeremy Doncaster had to be a lead. Terrific start. Kelvin Tatum has all the advantage on that bottom pit bend. He's now got this race. Have a look at it. Ryan Tully having a terrific ride in third place, up against 2 other youngsters, Paul Cooper and Paul Knott. But it's Ryan Tully, the British under-21 champion, that leads that little battle for third place. Then look at Kelvin Tatum. If anybody questions whether he was determined to win this British Masters or not, I think he's shown it in this race. Dropped those early points in his first ride. He knows that all the other riders have got to compete against each other. This will be exactly what he needed to do, as indeed Paul Hurry did. Still right there in contention after his third ride. Kelvin Tatum takes the win. Jeremy Doncaster gets second, which means that he's now dropped 2 points. And indeed, we've lost Ryan Tully on the far side. Oh, that was a great shame, because Ryan Tully was going superbly well, but I can see that he's actually fallen on the far side. We hope that he's going to be okay. Well, we've got number 1, John Halsey and Jason Glenn are one of the 2 crews that have had 2 rides and 2 wins. Look also next to them. That have had 2 rides and 2 wins. So who will get the best of it? John Halsey has made a good start going in that first bend. Andy Simons is up there in second. Kenny Hamill is up there in what could be second as well, really. Those 2 are together as they go around that first bend. Colin Blackburn is lost out on that first bend. He's in 4th place at the moment, and Mick Terrell is trying to get that 4th off him. Mick Terrell spins it round, brilliantly hangs on to it. That really was heart in the mouth stuff, wasn't it? It was just absolutely incredible. He must have travelled more than 100 yards backwards, but he managed to hold on to it.
Well, an absolutely amazing recovery by Mick Terrell. How he never turned his outfit over, I do not know. Mick used to ride left-hand sidecars years ago, for years. I can remember when I was a small lad, and he was very, very good. And you can see it must be this years and years of experience at riding these outfits that he actually managed to avoid turning the outfit over. See, he looks over his shoulder to see where he's going and simply turns it round. But poor Tony Baseby couldn't hang on, not for love or money.
That really
That's
was hard
the most
to mouth
amazing
stuff,
thing
wasn't
I've seen
it?
in Grasstrack for donkey's
Absolutely
years.
incredible. He must have travelled more than 100 yards backwards, but he managed to hold on to it. One of the experience the conditions out there at the moment may pay off for I'm sure on Colin Blackburn at the moment. He's made a good start, but Ivor Matthews has made a better one. Those two together as they go into that first turn. Now, will that force Colin Blackburn to go on the inside? Which means that Ivor might pick the speed up from the outside line. Ivor Matthews has certainly got that option, but Colin Blackburn has made a terrific effort. Well, he certainly found grip where I wasn't expecting to see it in the middle of that bend. Does that mean that the track is drying out? Is there grip back again on the racing lines we saw earlier in the day? Colin Blackburn almost puts it sideways. Ivor Matthews and Simon Wall in second place. And they've certainly gone for much tighter lines than they did in the first semi-final, so perhaps the circuit is drying out a little bit. Down the back straight they go. Colin Blackburn has the outsiders, tipped as the high hopefuls. And indeed, having won the International Poacher, have come here today in very determined form, and they look like staying with John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Can Ivor Matthews get by him? Ivor Matthews tries the inside, he's realised the script there, and Ivor Matthews has got through. Ivor Matthews on the inside, Colin Blackburn doesn't want to give up, he has to stay out wide, he loses the speed coming down that back straight. Ivor Matthews has now got in front. So this possibly has given John Halsey a slight advantage going into the final if they stay like this. Colin Blackburn won't want to give it up though. He'll be coming back again as they go into this last lap. Ivor Matthews and Simon Wall, where do they go on that top bend? They've stayed where they did on the last lap and they've stayed in tight. They've got the speed as they go down the back straight. Colin Blackburn is picking up, closes the gap into the bottom bend. On this last turn. Ivor Matthews and Simon Wall look like getting the second semi-final. They come towards the line, they take the checkered flag. Colin Blackburn and Martin Bailey have to be content with second, which means they have slightly given the advantage to John Halsey and Jason Glennie going into the final. John Halsey now coming to the line next to him. A more interesting one is from Colin Blackburn. Right on that inside. Start this time. Now who's made the best of it? From the outside it is John Halsey and Jason Glennie as Rob Wilson has gone in behind him. Colin Blackburn firing through on the inside. Now they all go in together into that first bend. John Halsey, Jason Glennie, Rob Wilson in second place. Colin Blackburn back in fourth place. Come through underneath him on that first bend. So as they go into the pit bend, Ivor Matthews has got in front of Rob Wilson, he's got up into second. So at the moment, the title is sitting with John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Can anybody do anything about them? Right, Ivor Matthews and Simon Wall in second place, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles in third. Ivor Matthews going for the inside of John Halsey, he's got through on the inside of him. Now Ivor Matthews was sitting on 29 points, so he can't win the title. Good to win this final. Rob Wilson going around the outside of John Halsey as well. John Halsey trying to react and come back at him. Well, a tremendous final. John Halsey's in trouble. John Halsey has lost Jason Glennie on that bottom turn. I don't know whether he knows it yet. Rob Wilson has seen it. He's trying to indicate to him. John Halsey fighting with that machine in the top bend. He will pull off, I'm sure, in a moment, or will he come back down and try and pick Jason up again? Well, Jason is at the moment, Ivor Matthews leading. Now it means that John Halsey won't get a result as it is at the moment because he's got to finish with at minimum 2 people on the machine. We saw that happen with Andy Simons earlier on today. Ivor Matthews and Simon Wall leading though, and John Halsey's still going by himself. I'm surprised that the marshals haven't indicated to him that he's got to pull off because he is holding up Colin Blackburn, who now goes through into third place. And Rob Wilson goes to the lead. Rob Wilson goes to the lead. Ivor Matthews has been falling off and you saw a hand clap in the air as he went down the back straight. But it is Rob Wilson and Ivor Matthews come back at him. Ivor Matthews comes underneath, Rob Wilson is back underneath again. It's a checkered flag this time and Rob Wilson has won it. Rob Wilson wins it. So we quickly add the points up, which means that Rob Wilson has gone over the line with 7 points, puts him on 35. John Halsey won't score, I'm afraid to say. So he will be not scoring at all. Now Colin Blackburn, well, I'm going to have to check to see where he finished because I haven't got a clue at the moment. They're quickly working out the points here because I've done it unofficially, and although we can say that was a tremendous final, congratulations to Ivan Matthews and Simon Wall, saying that they have had problems. I'm just waiting for the lap scorers to confirm. Let's give you the official result of the final. It was a win for number 3, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles, and it means that they've actually done it. They've won the British Masters title. They've done it. I've just indicated to Tony Miles that he's done it. He's just let Rob know they are the new British Masters champions. It was by a whisker.
Looks like Lee Street first to break, Keith Stradwick at the inside, and David Knowles on the outside of Street at the moment. Just in front. So it's Knowles on the outside, Street on the inside. Keith Stradwick having a scrap with Colin out for third at the moment. David Knowles looking as his own improvement today after the win over the British back at the inside again. So Street and Knowles. Keith Stradwick in third. Colin out in fourth place at the moment. The Knowles is back at the inside, Lee Street's trying the outside line this time. So it's Lee Street now with about 10 metres lead going up the back straight. Is it going to be a race win, early race win for the British champion this afternoon? Second place, so it's going to be the David Knowles and Stradwick just about. And Colin out on the winning third place. Looks like Lee Street again, the superstar from Colin Out, Keith Stradwick. Stradwick it is, who takes it up in the first turn. While Street got work through this time. Returning to grab a few points back from that disappointing last race. Stradwick slipped back to third now, Colin Out in fourth place. It was over Chelmsford this year, wrested the British Championship from the Midlands and took it back to Kent. A lot of the time jobs I might add, but Kent is where it's home is at the moment with Lee Street. Keith Stradwick moving up into second place now. I don't think Lee Street knows he's there, but he will be in a moment. obviously stop that one on the line. This time, it looks like complaint from Dolman as they go into the first turn. Simon Dominski is in third place now. Then we'll be back in fourth, Lee Gade in sixth, Giles Roberts in seventh. So it is, without two on the bike, Lee Complin in front and Bob Dolman, Adam Rosie Giles having a bad ride there. I don't know whether he's got some sort of problem, but normally we expect to see him up the front. There's going to be another win for Lee Complin. They could announce for that last hour on the start line. Roy Sizemore getting third. Nice clean start. Followed by Thomas Cooper, Stanton down in 5th place now, 4th place. Section of age groups in this one. Got the youngsters out front and then the not so youngsters in 3rd and 4th, Stanton and Mandan. In 5th place now is Chris Mills. Andy gone back in 7th place at the moment. Dave Mander taking first and win Stanton. We'll be very lucky then. And away, Bunker making the best of the starts. That looks like Gareth Roberts up into 2nd place now. The two youngsters disputing the lead. Simon Davey in 3rd place. Gareth Roberts in 4th. Carl Wilkes in 5th. So Complin have got the edge over Rolf slightly on the top turn of Rolf. Do much about the leading two in 3rd place. So it's Complin from Darren Rolf. This is only a heat to imagine what the final's going to be like. So Complin it is. Is he going to make it pay? Rolf's going to have a run. going to be pumping again, somebody with a horrendous loop on the line. And Peter Lloyd's made a flyer. But Phil Ashcroft gets a lot of drive at the back straight, so it's Ashcroft and Lloyd disputing the lead. Trevor back to from Peter Lloyd and Mitch Godden. Trevor Eden in 4th place, Paul Austin in 5th, Gareth Roberts I think in 6th. Take the South Midland Centre Championship up the motorway tonight to the Midlands. Ashcroft away to the back. Gets a bit knotted up. Carl Wilkes with an exhaust problem then. But it's Phil Ashcroft who's going to be the first. The rather light Carl Wilkes at the back.